Hey guys, in this video I'm going to explain the third logic game of LSAT PrepTest 74, which is the December 2014 LSAT. In this game we're dealing with a grouping element. We have 6 colors of which we're going to choose 5 and then place them into one of 3 different categories, being the 3 different rugs. Now I've laid out a lot of rules here, but don't worry, I'll explain all of them. They tell us that whenever we have white, we will also have 2 other colors. So if we have white, then we have white along with 2 other spaces there. So we're going to have a single color rug, a rug with 3 colors, and then another rug with 1. If we have O, we're going to have P, and then we have some conflicts here. F and T are never together, P and T are never together, and P and Y are never together. So if you have O, then you have P, and if you have P, you're not going to have either Y or T. So that becomes something you can combine with the rule about olive. If you have O, then you have P, so you don't have Y or T in that very rug. So I've numbered these, but the numbers aren't really important. And that's pretty much it in terms of initial inferences. You can make the inference that if you have you could have 2 different possibilities. Either you have a rug with 3 colors and then 2 single colored rugs, or you have a single colored rug and then 2 rugs with 2 colors each. 2 different possibilities, but we'll get into those as we get into the questions as well. So let's start off with number 11, which is a typical orientation question. We'll just take one rule or inference at a time and apply it to all 5 choices, checking for violations. So we know that if you have W, then you will have 2 others along with it. This allows us to eliminate E, which has W and T together. We also know that F and T are never together, and D violates that, so D's out. We know that P and T are never together. Don't see anything remaining violating that. We know P and Y are never together. B violates that, so that's out. And we have the rule that if you have O, then you have O with P. And we see that choice C violates that, having O without P. So A by elimination for number 11. Number 12 is a general must-be-true question, so we'll skip that and come back to it later in the game when we have more valid scenarios to help us eliminate incorrect answer choices. Number 13, if one of the rugs is solid peach. So if we have solid peach there, it means we're not going to have O at all. So we're going to have simply the remaining variables F, T, W, and Y as our 5 colors. If we have W, of course, we will have to have 2 others along with it. We know F and T cannot go together, so they are interchangeable. We will have W and Y together. I'll just throw them on 2, and then F and T on 1 on the remaining 2. F and T, T and F, and now we can go on to the choices. What must be true? Solid forest doesn't have to happen. Solid T doesn't have to happen because they're interchangeable. Solid yellow, never happening. F and W, could, not must, but W and Y, yes, definitely. So E is our answer for 13. Next, number 14, if there are exactly 2 solid rugs. Well, in number 13, we saw what happens when you have exactly 2 solid rugs. We know that we could have F and P be 2 solid rugs, so A is gone from 14. We also know that we could have P and T be our 2 solid rugs. So we've gotten rid of A and C. Now let's look at the remaining choices. And, if we were to throw down F and Y, then we could have WOP, no conflict among these. So B seems perfectly fine. If we look at D, P and Y, then what can we do for our remaining ones given that we cannot use O? Well, we have to have, again, W, but now we'll have T and F. And that's a problem, aside from the fact that we've got WTF there. F and T conflict, unacceptable, so D is a cannot and is our answer for number 14, it turns out. Next, number 15. If F and P were used together, what could be true? Well, F and P are both involved in conflicts, so if we were to use T and Y, they'd have to go elsewhere, of course. Then our question is, are we going to use W? Are we going to use O? If we use O, it will have to go here. Otherwise, it's not happening at all. And if we use W, it will also have to go here. Otherwise, it's not happening at all. So, a lot of unresolved questions here. Could you have exactly one solid rug? That's not looking promising. Let's look at the next one. W not used at all. That's an easy question to answer. Could we avoid using W? If we avoid using W, we could put T and Y alone and put O right there. Works out perfectly fine. No issues. So B is our answer to number 15. Finally, number 16, if one of the rugs is solid yellow. So we've got a solid yellow rug here. Not much to go forward with that. We do know, of course, that D can automatically be eliminated based on question 15, where we saw O and F together. Now, Y being alone doesn't really give us much of a clear starting point. So let's just look at the choices. Exactly one solid color rug. That is incredibly limiting, seems unlikely. That gives us a 1-2-2 layout, which we really haven't seen before. So it's difficult to have. If we have this layout, of course, that means we're not having a 1-3-1 distribution, so we're not going to have 3 of anything, meaning that we're not going to have W, which means we are going to have O, and O requires P. So that's full. The problem is that now we have T and F, and we can't ever have them together due to the initial rules. So for that reason, A is actually impossible and is our answer to number 16. Now, because A is a cannot, that means the other 4 are all coulds. So if we go back to number 12 for a moment, which we still haven't finished, a general must be true question. The answer is not necessarily A here. We can eliminate D for number 12 based on the fact that it was possible to lack turquoise in some of the rugs. So it's not a must that we have to use turquoise all the time. So D is gone there. E is gone from number 12 based on our correct answer from number 11. And A and B can also be eliminated based on things we've done before. Back in 15, we saw there was a multicolored rug with forest, and we've also seen a multicolored rug with turquoise in number 13. So by elimination, C is our answer for number 12, and that's the game.